Welcome back to the vault. Today's video is an audio recording of Detective Michael Warner and Sergeant Justin Wall from the Professional Standards Division. Detective Warner is responsible for the most recent charges relating to a fraudulent insurance claim filed by Jeremy Dewitte. Please let me know what you think down in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.
I'm Sergeant Justin Wall of the Orange County Sheriff's Office Professional Standards Section. Today's date is May 10th, 2021, and the current time is 2:32 p.m. This interview is being conducted at the Office of Professional Standards located at 2500 West Colonial Drive. I'm interviewing. Can you just state your name and who you work for?
Sure. Mike Warner, detective with the Florida Department of Financial Services, Bureau of Insurance Fraud.
Okay. And Detective Warner, are you aware that I'm recording this interview?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone threatened, coerced, or offered you any preferential treatment to give this statement?
Absolutely not.
Are you under the influence of drug or alcohol that may impair your testimony?
No, sir.
Okay. Raise your right hand for me so I can put you under oath. Do you swear affirm the testimony you are to provide will be true and correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So as we spoke briefly on the phone before you came down here, I'm conducting an administrative investigation into the conduct of our employees as it relates to a Mr. Jeremy Dewitte. And Mr. Dewitte has brought forth several allegations, and one of them is dealing with his dealings with insurance companies. And so I'm just here to try and gain a better understanding of what you know regarding the insurance allegations that
Sure.
Mr. DeWitte's brought forward. So how did you learn of Mr. DeWitte?
Sure. So I've known about him since I worked for the Sheriff's Office back in 2014, just from the information bulletins that were sent out at the time. Since then, I've seen him, the YouTube videos that he posts, and just as far as the internet goes, seen his videos there.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
And just real quick, what is your responsibilities with the agency you work for?
Sure. State law enforcement officer assigned to the Bureau of Insurance Fraud. So the squad that I'm on is assigned to auto insurance fraud. So we investigate all claims of auto insurance fraud relating from fraudulent application fraud, car crashes that maybe only happen on paper, folks that get medical treatment after the car crash that maybe weren't in the car, or in some cases people that crashed into each other on purpose and then they're paid off by the chiropractors, and the whole scheme of all of that.
Okay. Are you a sworn law enforcement officer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so you conduct actual criminal investigations
Yes, sir.
into these type of things? Okay. And so how did your investigation into Mr. DeWitte begin?
Sure. This was a self-initiated case from a video of Mr. DeWitte at a crash scene. In the video, he claimed to have Esurance as his insurance provider, and from what I do, I'm aware that Esurance doesn't issue commercial motor vehicle policies, so I knew that either he was lying about his insurance or he had provided false information on his application.
Okay. And when you say self-initiated, what does that mean?
So most of our cases come from the insurance companies themselves. They'll conduct reviews. They have special investigators, which are not sworn. They work just for the insurance folks. They'll do their whole investigation. If they think there's fraud, they'll refer to where I work. And most of our cases come from there, but once in a while, there's self-initiated cases that are truly kind of rare for what we do, because most of our cases do come from the insurance companies.
So typically, for instance, Esurance, in this case, would have worked their own in-house sort of civilian investigation.
Exactly.
And then if they feel like they can pursue it criminally, they would contact you?
Exactly.
Okay, and that's typically how most of your cases come forward?
Definitely.
And so in this one, self-initiated, did you self-initiate?
Yes, sir.
Did you just happen to be watching YouTube one day?
Yes, sir.
Or?
I don't know if it was Facebook or YouTube, but I saw the video on there. I don't remember the date. I'd have to get my case file, but it was him at a crash scene. And I don't know if he was talking to a trooper or whoever it was investigating the crash, and he was talking about having Esurance. And I'm aware that Esurance doesn't write commercial policies, so there's no way that his fleet of marked cars can have a policy that's issued by...
Did anybody contact you to advise you that they had seen this, or you saw it yourself?
I just saw it.
Did Sergeant Vidler Do you know Sergeant Keith Vidler in the sheriff's office?
Sure. I know him after I started this. So when the case first started, part of my initial review, our analyst does a criminal history. And I looked on the CCIS and saw that there was a criminal traffic citation for insurance. So I thought that might have some relevance to what I'm doing. So after the case was initiated, we already had a case number assigned. I reached out to Sergeant Vidler since his name was on the citation.
Okay. And so, had you heard of Sergeant Vidler prior to that?
No, sir.
So that was the first time that you learned of Sergeant Keith Vidler?
Yes, sir. I reached out to him via email, and I can... You mind if my LT is calling? You mind if I just take this real quick?
Sure.
LT. I'm doing the interview now. Yes? Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So they heard back from, I guess, the captain. He doesn't want me to talk since it's a criminal investigation.
Okay.
So that's what that phone
Since
call
it's an
was.
active criminal investigation
Yes, sir.
into Mr. Dewitte?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But I can tell you, as far as what we've talked about, in absolutely no way did anyone from the sheriff's office or any other law enforcement agency contact me. It was something I saw. I can't say for sure if it was YouTube or Facebook. Now there's videos that kind of come up all the time. And
Okay.
I was familiar with Jeremy just from his long history of always posting videos. Knew a little bit about his company. I've actually seen them. They've on 50 one time several years back. I know they have a whole fleet of marked cars, and I knew there was no way that somebody that has a fleet of marked cars that uses them for business can be insured under a personal insurance.
And that was the case here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So do you want me to ask you more questions, or
Unfortunately,
you're
LT says.
Okay. Okay. Well, I can go ahead and conclude the interview then. The current time is 2:39 p.m. and that concludes the interview.